What are you doing here? Well, this sure is convenient because I wanted to talk to you. How's it going, everybody? My name's Porty. So a little while back, I posted a short, basically calling out how much I dislike the community kind of obsessing over 99ing the gate because of Blood Warden. And the response was a lot. Like a genuinely surprising amount of people showed up to defend 99ing the gate, and I want to talk about it. I feel there's a disconnect between what people feel like is true and what's actually true when you look at the numbers and the mechanics of the game. As you could kind of see a moment ago, my notifications have been a bit iffy the last few days, to say the least. Let's actually go through a few of these because I don't just want to wave my hand at the comments. I kind of want to give people like a fair response. One of the most repeated things that I saw was there's different reasons why people don't just instantly open the gate, like try to save teammates, worrying about time limits, etc. I understand the logic. There isn't really much of a point. The time limit itself is not a threat when somebody is on the hook. The timer is delayed significantly. Like, it takes practically 3 business years for the endgame collapse to actually finish while somebody is downed or on the hook. You're taking this very non-threatening, limited amount of time and replacing it with a much more real, albeit much shorter and more dangerous amount of time, if that makes sense. Rather than having several minutes between getting somebody safely to the exit gate while they're on hook and resetting at the gate with your teammates before you go do that, you're taking the last few seconds to get the gate open mid-chase while there's potentially people injured from running from the hook to the gate, and more than likely getting a teammate or yourself killed in the process. It only takes a couple seconds to open the gate when it's 99'd, but those last couple of seconds can be a life or death moment in game for you or a teammate. Essentially, you didn't remove the pressure, you just kind of moved it to a less convenient spot. And while this one kind of made me laugh, someone literally said, God forbid you wait an extra 2 seconds while somebody's being carried to the hook. I get the sarcasm. I do. That's genuinely the trade-off. Those 2 seconds matter a lot more when the killer's already committed to a hook and the exit's not open yet than when it's open the whole time and you're just walking out. Then there was one that said flat out, there's no downside to 99 at the gate, it's better safe than sorry. I kind of want to give a little bit of direct pushback on that one because it's not true. There is a downside. The downside is exactly the scenario we're talking about. Someone gets downed, gets picked up. Now your team is burning precious seconds fully opening a gate that could have already been open the entire time. Better safe than sorry only works if 99ing is genuinely the safer option. Mechanically, it generally isn't. Look, I get it. Blood Warden feels pretty awful in the moment. You did everything right. You're standing at the gate. Suddenly, the killer puts a brick wall in front of you and your teammates. That sucks. Here's the thing. Blood Warden only shows up roughly 3% of actual matches in game. 3%. You're building your entire endgame strategy around a perk that realistically you're probably not going to see. If you are seeing it, you're just unlucky in the moment. Yeah, that sucks. Those last couple of extra seconds of very precious time in the middle of being chased out of the gate is not worth the 3% gamble. Real quick, if you're enjoying the video, do me a favor and hit the like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It genuinely helps the channel out. I appreciate every single one of you who does it. So after the short went up, obviously I got a lot of comments, which is kind of what we're already talking about. It made me curious if it was in my head or if there was some legitimacy behind what I was saying. I tweeted out to Hens. Honestly, was not expecting a response. Thankfully, I got one. If you don't know him, Hens is one of the most well-known names in the Dead by Daylight content space. He's very well known for his comp scene for the game and his knowledge on the mechanics. He's even part of Dead by Daylight's consultation crew, which if you didn't know is a coalition of content creators for Dead by Daylight that the developers themselves have put together for genuine feedback on upcoming game mechanics and other such things. I asked him straight up, in his experience, what's the likelihood of a survivor actually dying if the gates get open immediately versus if the team sits there 99? I really appreciate his response. He said there are very few instances where 99ing is actually worth it, and in almost any other case, if you're leaving to go rescue someone or do something useful, you should just fully open the gate. Which is pretty much what this whole video is talking about. My actual sentiment in the original short. This isn't me just saying it. That's one of the most respected voices in the community currently. I want to build on that. Killers who actually run Blood Warden the ones who know what they're doing with it will typically wait for a key moment to actually hook a survivor. They typically wait for the gate to actually be opened. They're not going to pick up a down survivor until the gates are already open or they are well aware the gates are about to open. That's the whole point of the perk. It's designed around punishing teams that think they're safe once the gates are open. In modern DBD, 99 in the gate, refusing to commit to actually opening it doesn't even really protect you from the scenario that you're concerned about. A good Blood Warden killer is gonna know what to do and plan around that. Say your teammate goes down near the gate area and the killer picks them up. You're sitting there at 99. In your head, that 1% is your safety net. The second things go bad, you slam it open and you're all safe. Think about what actually has to happen between things go bad and the gate is open. For one, you have to path to the gate if you're not already standing on it. You have to hold that interaction to completion. That's not instant. Meanwhile, if the gate's already open, none of that exists. You just leave. There's no longer a window there where the killer can injure you or your teammates sprinting back to the gate after you've surrounded the hook, like you should have after a reset, to unhook your teammate or for you to be unhooked, and then get it down in that last couple of seconds just getting the gate open. There's really nothing left for them to react to, you just leave. Essentially, the juice is not worth the squeeze here. Meanwhile, the endgame collapse timer gives you a pretty decent sized window. I'm not going to sit here and throw exact numbers at you because that's not really the point. The point is, it's a lot longer than people like to act like it is. You have time. Real time. Time to open the gate, time to reset you and your team. If you're injured, surround the hook, somebody baits a hit, the other person unhooks, the last uninjured people tank hits on the way to the gate, which is waiting for you already open. In that same scenario, you have multiple injured people, maybe one person who isn't injured. By the time that you reach the gate, more than likely, everybody is injured. As you're tanking hits to get to the gate, somebody hits the lever, just enough time for the killer to catch up, take another swing, somebody's downed, they're back to square one. Or they're pushing you out of the gate so they can mori that last person or hook them. The couple of seconds it takes to fully open a gate is such a small fraction of the window you get from the endgame collapse that gambling with it just doesn't really make sense. You're risking the one resource that's important in the endgame, chase time. All for a couple of extra seconds that is going to get you killed. Or a teammate killed. Or to protect you against the perk that, while can happen, statistically, won't. It's 3% of matches. Look, I want to wrap this up the right way, because I don't want this to come across as me talking down on anybody. I really am grateful for all the comments. I genuinely want to thank everybody who took the time to comment on the video. Even the people who disagreed with me. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I'm not trying to tell anybody that they're empirically wrong. If there's one thing I want people to walk away with, it's this. Don't gamble those last couple of seconds it takes to open the gate. You have time. Open it, reset your health states, surround the hook, tank hits on your way back to the gate if you have to. Realistically, you're going to. And get your team out safely. You can easily do all of that comfortably within the time of the endgame collapse. That's really all I'm saying. Thank you again genuinely for the support, the comments, and the engagement. It means a lot to me, more than you probably realize. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves. I'll catch you in the fog.